In 2015, Amy Scott's parents, Mike and Kathy, as well as Amy grandmothers Barbara and Violet, were brutally murdered, leaving the case unsolved for years. New evidence, including stolen cash and matching bloody shoe prints, exposed Amy and her husband Ross as the killers.
As family members, we want answers.
But unbeknownst to everyone, Ross and Amy were the killers all along.
In 2023, they were arrested and now await trial for the horrific crime. It was a quiet day when Detective Tyler Duncan approached a man named Ross. "Hey, are you Ross?" Tyler asked, introducing himself as part of the sheriff's office.
Hey, are you Ross? I'm Tyler Duncan. I'm with Anderson County Sheriff's Office. This is Steve.
How you doing?
For the past 8 years, Ross Valard and his wife, Amy Valard, have been hiding a terrifying secret that these detectives are about to uncover. Alongside him was another officer named Steve.
I got assigned the case about the homicide that happened in Pendleton in 2015. We'd like to talk to you.
They were on the trail of a mystery that had haunted their community for years, a gruesome crime involving Ross Valard and his wife, Amy. For 8 long years, the couple had concealed a horrifying truth. Back in 2015, Amy's parents, Mike and Kathy Scott, along with Amy's 2 grandmothers, Barbara and Violet, were brutally killed in their home. The crime scene was grisly. The victims had their throats slashed, gunshot wounds to their heads, and defensive wounds on their hands. Evidence of a desperate fight for survival. Blood smeared on walls and doors hinted at a futile attempt to escape. Despite the violence, no signs of forced entry were found. Invaluable items remained untouched, ruling out a robbery. It was clear the killer had been someone the victims trusted. Amy, who discovered the bodies, called 911 in hysterics.
Emergency.
Oh my God! I need somebody out here.
What's going on?
Oh God!
There's 4 people.
In my mama's house, and
Who are these people that are in the house?
it's my mom and my grandma and my granny and my stepdad.
With the daughter, got angry with her and kept the children from Kathy.
So tell us about that.
It seemed that they really tried to help Amy a lot. And Mike and Kathy, they really took care of the kids. And it broke Kathy and Mike's heart. She just really missed the kids, and the 2 older ladies that lived there, they were used to the kids coming in and out.
You think Kathy was afraid at all of Amy and Ross?
No, she never expressed that. But it was always the talk of the area that Mike would go to flea markets and he would get some kind of video games that he collected. There was a good resale market for him, and that he would buy any old jewelry that had some gold in it. It was always a rumor that he kept a lot of cash and gold stuff around.
Not only did Mike collect jewelry and other rare memorabilia, but it was well known in the community that Mike always had a large sum of cash with him because he feared putting money into the banking system. This made Mike a large target, especially amongst those who knew him well.
I think you've got to be one sick puppy and go in there and kill 2 helpless old women. The thoughts that somebody came in and killed those people, I still have nightmares about that.
It'd be her, and they were exactly right. What they found was so sinister, it blew the case wide open.
Ross had made a joke and said, do you want me to kill? It was a joke at the time.
Right.
Then later I was like, holy, I'm glad I didn't say yeah.
It's Amy, right? What was your job there?
A bather, and I was learning in the process of grooming.
When you worked for the shop, you said they were just getting started, so they weren't very successful yet.
They appeared that they were fine.
Okay.
But then I would hear arguments of them, and a lot of it was money related. When I started working for her, I seen Kathy and Mike at the grooming shop. I was in the back grooming, so I didn't hear everything that was going on, but it was something to do with money.
Okay.
Throughout working there, she'd always tell me about how she was treated growing up and all of that.
What kind of stuff would she say about how she was treated?
She told me that she was always a daddy's girl, and she said her dad he was working on a car and it crushed him, and he was placed in the hospital. And her mom decided to pull the plug. She always hated her mom for that.
In 2023, nearly a decade after the murders, investigators reopened the case. Interviews with neighbors and acquaintances revealed troubling details. Amy had a strained relationship with her parents, often clashing over her children. Meanwhile, Ross and Amy had a history of financial disputes and desperation. The breakthrough came when detectives reviewed security footage from the night of the murders. Ross was seen wearing a specific model of shoes whose tread matched bloody footprints found at the crime scene. This evidence, coupled with their financial discrepancies and the damning cash discovery, sealed the case against them. Detectives confronted Ross and Amy with their findings. Despite Ross's attempts to explain away the evidence, the walls were closing in. The footprints, the cash, and the troubled history all pointed to the couple's guilt. When detectives accused them outright, Ross hinted at seeking a plea deal, realizing his lies could no longer shield him. 4 days later, Ross and Amy were arrested and charged with the murders. Held without bond, they now await their fate in court. Their once hidden secrets have come to light, leaving the community stunned and grieving for the family they betrayed.
Hey, are you Ross? I'm Tyler Duncan. I'm with Anderson County Sheriff's Office. This is Steve.
How you doing? How's it going?
I got assigned the case about the homicide that happened in Pendleton in 2015.
Okay.
Is Amy here?
She is.
So since she's the one that called 911, I think you were there also. We'd like to talk to you. If you want to come on out, we'll talk to you and then we can talk to her. Can you describe, I guess, your relationship with Mike and Kathy?
I had a good relationship with Kathy. My relationship with Mike was really great, actually. It kind of turned sideways a little bit July 4th.
So I think y'all had got married that year, is that right?
Correct.
In 2015?
Yes, October 24th.
The 24th. That would have been, what, about a week or so before?
Yep. The last time that I saw Mike and Kathy was before Amy and I left to come down that Halloween. We had just gotten back from my mom and dad's. She went to knock on the back door, but the back door kind of just like was already cracked open or something like that. And that's when she apparently found the scene that she found. She went bolting back out of the house. I think she called 911 before she called me, if I remember correctly.
So you didn't go over to the other trailer?
No.
Or to Mike and Kathy's trailer?
Correct. I never went in that trailer that day.
So after you last seen them, you never went in their place again?
Correct. Yeah.
The detectives are baiting Ross into a trap, as they know based on the footprints that Ross did without a doubt step into the house on the night of the murders. Later on, they'll be able to confront Ross about these blatant lies in hopes they can shock him into a complete confession.
There was a couple things that kind of were red flags, but I don't know if they have anything to do with this or not. Mike bought and sold a lot of items, and some of the people that he was buying from were pretty shady sometimes. So that's another kind of red flag that I had as I was trying to just replay like events leading up to the homicide. Should I have seen something?
You're just starting out with this. If you were us, what would you do? What do you think happened there, Ross?
He's the first gentleman that's asked me that. TV shows that I watch always say, follow the money. And you find out where the real motives. They destroyed our business. From January to when this happened, I made just shy of $100,000 with our mobile grooming business. As soon as this happened, with all the media coverage, all of that went away because of this.
And you said you had a large amount of money in your single wide. Is that where the money came from?
The money that was in our single wide in my safe, about $80,000. That was literally the savings between Amy and myself.
In 2015, a horrifying quadruple murder shocked a quiet community, leaving police with a chilling mystery. Years later, new evidence uncovered the dark truth. The killers were the victim's own daughter, Amy, and her husband, Ross. This is the story of betrayal, greed, and justice finally catching up.